see you there. Hello, this is Mario Papa, and welcome to episode 85 of Rush Roundtable. In this episode, we're going to be talking about reimagining the R40 Setlist. It should be a good one. We hope you all enjoy.
Hey everybody, tonight we are going to reimagine the R40 tour and set list. So how this is going to work is we're going to go around the round table and each person is going to read off their reimagined R40 set list and any other surprises they may have that go along with that. And then we'll discuss each one. But first we have a brand new guest. And as always, we let our brand new guests briefly introduce themselves. So top right, we have Jared. Go ahead. Take it away.
Hi, I'm Jared Schofer. I'm a high school math teacher living in DC. I've been a Rush fan since '95, and I'm probably known as the guy who walked across America in honor of Neil Peart.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, we're happy to have you. This should be a pretty fun one, and we're going to let Eric in the top left take it away.
All right, so I have the daunting task of going first here, and go ahead and getting out of the way. I committed the heresy of not doing this set list in reverse chronological order, so go ahead and yell at me all you want. But for one particular song, maybe do it totally out of whack. Don't worry, I still hit every album. So starting off, set one, we have Show Don't Tell. I think it was my, I guess it's one of two songs I have from Presto. It's got a sort of building intro that comes in with the real heavy riff about halfway through that intro. Just a good way to start the show. Then we got Red Barchetta. And then Roll the Bones, which I thought, you could include the R40 celebrity rap section. Would be pretty cool. Then we have a couple songs you could alternate from night to night between Chemistry and Losing It. And Losing It, you could have, Ben Mink or Jonathan Dinklage like they did on R40. A couple songs, one that they never played and another that they hadn't played in a long time. And then going from that, we have Turn the Page or Mission. Again, two songs they could alternate from night to night, representing the Hold Your Fire album. And then following up that, we have Available Light, which again, another song they never played live. I think a lot of us will end up having this on our list. It's a great song that I think we would all agree would sound great live. Following up that, we have Leave That Thing Alone, representing Counterparts. And then Here Again from the debut album. Now that is a song that they hadn't performed since the early days. And I think it sounds great when they played it live, and calling that back 40 years later would be really cool. And then rounding out set one, we have By Tor and the Snow Dog, and then Xanadu. And then after, the little break and maybe a funny skit or something, we start off set two with Bastille Day, Test for Echo, and Headlong Flight. Three songs that are kind of in your face, get the energy back up and moving. Then after that, we have a drum solo, which I think Neil's best drum solo was Der Trommler from R30. So maybe it could be something kind of based around that. Maybe not the exact same thing, but something like that. Then after that, we could have Alex play Brune's Bane or something similar. And then they'd go into A Farewell to Kings. After that, the guys will play Workin' Them Angels, then How It Is, and then from night to night, they could switch back and forth between Jacob's Ladder and Natural Science, which are, two great epics off of Permanent Waves. After that, they'd play Between the Wheels, Manhattan Project, and then they'd go to No One at the Bridge from The Fountain of Lamneth off of Caress of Steel. And if memory serves correct, I don't think they ever played anything off of The Fountain of Lamneth. So playing this part of the song, which is, might just be the best part of that song, would come out really well, I think. It sounded really cool live. Then after that, they would go into a 2112 medley, starting off with Overture, then Temples of Syrinx. Then they'd play the Twilight Zone live. Now I know, why would they play the Twilight Zone live? Well, on the R4 or on the 2112 40th anniversary edition, they released a really clunky version of the Twilight Zone live. And people were like, oh, the audio quality is terrible, and why would they ever play that song? It sounds weird live. They had to play it different. But I think it sounds great. It would sound great 40 years later on this tour. And then they'd round it out with Grand Finale. And then to close out set 2, I have the song that made me reorder the entire set list to not be reverse chronological order, and that is The Garden. And I didn't really feel like The Garden would work well being one of the first 2 or 3 songs. It would kind of kill the mood. It's a little bit of a sadder song being the last song that they released, but it would work really well closing out set 2. So that's why I put it as the last song in set 2 and ended up reordering the entire set list. Then for the encore, we'll start off with One Little Victory. It's such an important song to their career, after the 5-year hiatus or 6-year hiatus, going back in with those, pounding drums and guitar and bass. Then we have La Via Strangiato, and then the Cygnus X1 medley. Think of the R30 Overture or what they did for R40, where they play both Book 1 and Book 2. Then after that, they would alternate between Tom Sawyer and The Spirit of Radio from Night to Night, and then close out the show with Working Man and maybe end it with the Garden Road riff like they did on R40. So that's what I got.
Spoiler alert, he's the only one who did not go in reverse chronological order.
How dare
why
I?
we made him go first. No. No, this is creative, man. I really like how you put the Twilight Zone in the middle of 2112. Like, that's pretty creative, and probably something you might see Rush do. They did creative stuff like that with the R30 overtures and such. So I like it. I think it's good. I wondered why you did what you did, and yeah, I don't even have the Garden on mine. Another spoiler, because it made no sense.
Right.
Yeah, in the beginning. I'm assuming that's probably why they didn't do it live too, on R40.
Right. I agree, but I thought it's such a good song, and even as the last song that they ever did, I think it's such an important album in their career that I thought they had to include it on their R40 tour. So yeah.
Cool. Anybody want to add anything?
I think the Bruinsbane into AFTK is such a 90-degree turn, like, because you would hear it and you would totally expect the trees, and then you would get that instead. Like,
I was listening to it. I made a playlist with these songs that order, and I would hear Bruinsbane and be like, oh, here comes the trees, and nope, A Farewell to Kings comes on, and I'm like, it doesn't sound too bad, and I'm sure Alex could throw in a key change or something to make a good lineup just right. But
Cool. I like it. All right, Michael, your turn.
Alrighty, we'll get right to it. So opening the set list would be BU2B, and then right after that, Strand a Headlong Flight. In my opinion, the two big heavy hitters, in my opinion, from Clockwork Angels. After that, we're going to flow into Far Cry off Snakes and Arrows. And then after that, get further back into Vapor Trails and do Ghost Rider and Secret Touch. Once again, really big heavy hitter songs in the beginning. Personal favorites of mine. I would have liked to have seen them actually perform BU2B on R40, just because I thought, in my opinion, between Caravan and BU2B, I thought it was the bigger hitter in my book. But anyway, getting back into the first half of this set list, I would then wind it down a little bit by doing Resist acoustically, because I think that is easily one of their most powerful performance as a band that they've ever done on both R30 and Rush and Rio. After that, picking up the pace again, doing a little bit of Driven with the Geddy Lee bass solo in the middle of it would be really cool. Then flowing into Animate, because after seeing Animate on R40, that song just changed. Like I think that like the background animations that they had for that was just so amazing. Like all the words and stuff that they had flowing across, I thought was just so sick, and one of the better performances off R40. Then I would kind of keep it similar to how R40 was, and then do Roll the Bones after that with the obvious guest spots. And I would end the first half of this set list with another Roll the Bones tune of Dreamline. Getting into set 2, and a little bit of a spoiler here, I do not cover all the albums, so I will be crucified for this. But I think it'll be okay. So starting
Well, I
off,
mean, the band didn't even do that, so
all right. Well, I guess
it's an
that's
entire era
That's
of
true. Yeah.
stuff.
that is very, very true. So I'm going to try and cover some of the era that they missed going down. So opening up the second half of the show, I would do Show Don't Tell off of Presto. Working into Force 10 off Hold Your Fire. I was between that and Mission, but I decided to go with Force 10 overall. Into Grand Designs after that. Really heavy synth era that we're in right now, along with Between the Wheels, flowing into Subdivisions, and then obviously going into the wonderfulness that is Moving Pictures. I would then follow up with Limelight, YYZ, and Tom Sawyer. Start playing the heavy hitters towards the end of the set. After that, going into Permanent Waves, I would throw up the Spirit of Radio and Free Will. And then off of A Farewell to Kings, I would do Closer to the Heart, and I would close the second half of the set with Xanadu, because I think that's just would be an excellent song to close with. For the encore, I decided, obviously, 2112, do it in its entirety. It's R40, Go Big or Go Home, along with finishing with What You're Doing, and then the outro of the last song being Working Man with the Garden Road outro as well. I think that would be very sick way to end the show. Unfortunately, no Caress of Steel and no Fly By Night. However, I had to make an exception, but I did what I had to do. There's only 25 songs I'm allowed to work with here, and I know we could at least throw 100 each if we really wanted to.
So, Eric, I should have asked, did you cover everything? I mean, yours is in reverse order, so it's a lot harder to tell. So
I did. I made sure to hit everything. Yeah.
Okay. I like it. I like them both.
But playing all of 2112 might put it over 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
It'd be a very long show.
Well, when you were talking about your openers here, BU2B into Headlong Flight, into Far Cry, into Ghost Rider, into Secret Touch, dude,
it's just
my
Those are some
face
long
is just
songs.
melting off at this point.
that was kind of the goal, was just like how bad can I just melt faces with this?
That's why he gave you acoustic resist.
Yeah, that's like the cool down of all cool downs right there.
Right.
And then it punches you in the face with Driven right after that. So,
right
Yeah.
into that.
So we saw R40 together, right?
Yeah, we did in
can't remember.
Jersey,
Okay.
actually.
All right. Cool. All right, Jared, you're next.
Okay, well, so I started with The Anarchist. I thought was Rush's choice, and I think good choice. Don't it's not broken, so don't try to fix it. I will say that, my thought going in was to pick one from every album, but you'll see at the bottom there's a bit of a asterisk by that, and I'll explain why. And then from Snakes and Arrows, I really like Good News First, and I think that's really an underrated song. I've heard Alex say he sort of loved it, and it kind of was like a deep cut maybe that he really liked, so I went with that one. I really love that they played How It Is. I thought that was a great choice, so I picked that, subbing with Vapor Trail, because I always wanted to hear Vapor Trail as well. I also picked Acoustic Resist. I love Acoustic Resist. It's hard not to get choked up when they play that, and it gives Neil a break. And I'm not a huge drum solo guy, so I took the drum solo. I'm saying it's out of my first set list. And then one of my favorite songs that I will just fight anyone who doesn't like it is Everyday Glory. And I've been wanting to hear that live for so long. They never did, which is fine, but that one just chokes me up to no end. And I find the ending of it so triumphant that it's hard for me, not to get misty-eyed when I listen to it and just feel, really empowered. So I love Everyday Glory. I'm not a big Roll the Bones guy, but it's just great live, and I figured that, and then Ghost of a Chance are kind of my two that I'd love to hear live. And they did play Ghost of a Chance on the Snakes and Arrows tour. but yeah, to sub it in and out, I think would be cool. And then yeah, Available Light, Guilty. I mean, that's another one that just they never played, right? And it's just amazing. So it also moves me emotionally. Prime Mover, they hadn't played that live since '88. I thought, yeah, bring that one back. It's probably not that tough for them to play, but I've always enjoyed that one. I always felt that Rush threw in like 2 or 3 songs that were just kind of easy for them to play. That might be controversial, but I don't know. I always felt like every tour I could be like, oh, this is just one of those ones where Neil was like, let's just play this again. And I think Prime Mover is not that hard. I think they'd be like, yeah, let's do Prime Mover. And it's been a while. And then Emotion Detector. That's the one, right, from Power Windows that was never played live. I think a lot of us want that. It's a great song. And then The Enemy Within hasn't been played live since '87. So come on, bring that sucker back. I really like that one. And I loved Losing It. And I also think Chemistry, that I don't think that's been played live since the early '80s. So I guess it would be tough to pull off Losing It. Maybe they might have to just hit play on the violin. I don't know what they would do there if Dinklage or Ben Mink are not in the house. So maybe they could alternate it. Yeah, and so I thought that was a good way. I mean, I kind of had similar issues with Eric, like about what songs do I want to include. And of course I love The Garden, but you cannot open a show with The Garden. I'm sorry. So I felt it would still be really cool to open set 2 with Tom Sawyer. So I felt a little restricted with what I was picking in set 1. But I went with Tom Sawyer. I mean, you got to have that. I feel like I was looking at it as a realist, and there's no way they're not playing Tom Sawyer, even though I'd be fine to not have it in the show. Yeah. So, and then we go Spirit of Radio, just a great one. The crowd loves it. Everyone loves Spirit of Radio. Free Will, just to get that one more time, that feeling where Alex plays the solo. They all play their own respective solo, and we all do the "We're Not Worthy" thing, like kind of like Analog Kid was like that. Yeah. So, and then Jacob's Ladder, that was so cool to bring that back after forever, even though Getty thought they had never played it live. But yeah, Jacob's Ladder. And I thought, yeah, let's go with Bruin's Bane, Into the Tree. So we haven't played that in forever. Can you imagine the crowd when Alex just launches into Bruin's Bane? People would be going nuts for that, and Neil can just towel himself off. And then Cygnus X1. I love the exact way they played it in R40, and I wouldn't want to mess with it. I think that had the drum solo in there, so Neil could solo in there. And I just love the snippets they gave us of book 1, book 2. I thought it was more than we ever could have asked for. And then A Farewell to Kings, I don't know when, but that has not been played live in a long time. And that's just a great song, so that one, I absolutely love Xanadu. They brought it back in full regalia with everything, the double necks. So I'm totally in love with that selection. Similar for Closer to the Heart. I think that's just a great one. I mean, it was the last tour. We all kind of knew that. Play Closer to the Heart. 2112, just like they did in R40. Again, I respect their choice. I love the 4 parts they played. They seem to love, of course, the first 2, and then they seem to love the grand finale. But they played, I think it was the Presentation. Is that right? Yes. Okay. Thanks. So yeah, that one as well. And then Something for Nothing has not been played live since '79. And I think Getty could figure out a way to hit the notes. They just seem to be really good at doing that. And then Lakeside Park to start off the encore. I love Lakeside Park, and I think that's a great way to start it off. Anthem into Fly By Night, which has not been played live since '78. And then, look, it's the end, okay? We knew it was the end, and it's In the End, which has not been played live since '82. And my thinking is, and I'd love to hear your opinions. I always felt that Neil might have, deep down, a part of him would have felt like he didn't like playing the songs that he wasn't a part of writing. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure in the beginning he was like, oh, well, of course, we only have like 20 songs, 16 songs. I got to play all these. But I felt like he'd be like, look, this is our last tour. Like, I'm going out and I don't want to play songs I didn't have a part in writing. So in the end, to me, it's a great song to finish it off with. So that's why I left out Rush. Yeah, that's my set list.
Now, did
I
Neil
can understand
actually
that.
have a problem playing those songs? Do you know?
I do not know, but I always wondered, maybe you guys know this. I always wondered if he played them differently, if he tried to emulate what Rutsy did, or if he just had his toe. I never did the deep dive of like, playing them side by side, but I feel like there was just never, I feel like we got a lot of Working Man. We got Working Man probably on every tour in the 2000s. I do love What You're Doing. That's definitely a kick-ass song, but I don't really know Jerry if he ever had any disdain, but I feel like to some degree he would want to maybe just for once be like, let's play everything that was written by the three of us.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but I could see it, not as any knock to Rutsy, but just because it's like it's just the one album that's just not really Rush as we know it. You know what I mean? So I could see that.
Like I saw an interview where someone was saying something about the very finish of the actual R40 tour, and he didn't even know the name of the final song. He's like, it's Garden Road or Fancy Dancer. I can't remember. And I was like, yeah, because you weren't there,
Yeah, right.
So it kind of like his tone was sort of like, I don't really care about that song because it had nothing it predates me. But I don't know.
But in the end would be a pretty cool way to end the show, I think. It's kind of like one of the lone stadium rock anthems you could say that Rush has, where it's like not a power ballad, but almost a power ballad. I think it would be a cool way to wrap up the show.
Yeah. All right, Mario, you're up.
All right.
Your turn.
So a mixture of these were suggestions from my father, who is not here. So he just kept throwing songs out, and which songs I felt were appropriate to put in that he suggested. Well, I put them in. So let us get started. Numero uno. We will start out with Caravan. Great opening song. Opened up the Clockwork Angels album. So always good, get them off strong with all this fire and explosions and smoke, and great opening song. And then we'll go right into another pyrotechnics display with Far Cry. Probably one of my best song, in my opinion, off of Snakes and Arrows, which I know is basic, but I could be basic sometimes. And then we'll go right into, oh, look, more fire with One Little Victory. Damn, the pyrotechnics crew is going to be, they're working really hard in these first three songs.
We're working them Angels overtime,
huh? You're funny.
No, yes, I'm not.
One Little Victory. And then we'll go right into Test for Echo, which is my favorite Test for Echo song, Time and Motion. I know they only played it not even on the first leg of the Test for Echo tour, so we definitely need to bring that back. We need those Getty high backing vocals that he connects with his foot pedal. I don't know if you ever saw a sound check for Time and Motion, but he doesn't sing it, but he still presses the pedal, which, you hear his backing vocals and it's the high pitch. I'm like, he should totally do that again for Time and Motion. So that's my only song off Test for Echo. And then we'll go right into Everyday Glory, which is my only song off of Counterparts. And I forgot who said it, but it has never been played live. And it is very appropriate to play it because, that message is very important. If you remember in the Time Stand Still documentary, the guy that was in the hospital said this song really motivated him, rise from the ashes. Yeah. So I think that is a very, very good song. It relates to a lot of people, especially myself, who are struggling with certain things in their life. And you just got to remember to, never lose hope. Just you'll get through what you get through and, rise from the ashes. And then we'll go right into, what is that? Oh, Dreamline from Roll the Bones. I think that is probably one of the best songs, in my opinion, off of Roll the Bones, Dreamline. Maybe get a pre-recorded Clockwork Angel string ensemble in the background. I kind of like it. With the violins and the cellos and all that. It has a different sound to it, which I really like. And then we'll go into what I think is one of Rush's favorite songs off the Presto album, The Pass. And if I'm looking at everyone's thing, I don't think anyone has The Pass on here. And I think The Pass is Patrick.
I got The Pass.
I see it now.
I got you.
Pass is a very good song. It is one of their favorites, and it is another, important message about, the teen suicide. Unfortunately, it's a very bad problem nowadays, and The Pass really shares that message. It brings awareness, and I think it's a very, very good song to have now in this day and age. And then we're going to go into Chain Lightning, which has never been played. And I just think that's just a nice little surprise in there. You could get all the fire and the pyrotechnics going. It'll be really, really awesome to have Chain Lightning. You would not expect them to play that, and I just love that little surprise. So I had to put 2 songs from Presto in there. I was debating whether to put Chain Lightning or Warpaint, but I'm like, you know what? They played Warpaint on the Presto tour, but let's do Chain Lightning because they've never, ever played that. So it'd be a really, really big surprise. And then we'll go right into Time Stands Still, which is, as you all know, a very important song. Thinking about growing older, experiences are slipping away. You just wish you would just stop where you are right now and enjoy the moment for as long as you can. But, time keeps going. Very appropriate song. And then we'll go into one of my personal favorites off Power Windows, and it's a great way to close the set up, is a motion detector, because, the feelings are running high. This is their last tour. Everybody's in their feels. He's in his feels. I'm in my feels. I'm crying. It's very important song. I think it's a great, great song to close the set 1 up. And then we'll go right into set number 2. This is another suggestion that my father had. He suggested Kid Gloves. And I'm like, Kid Gloves is a good one, but I also thought Distant Early Warning would be another good opening song for set number 2. Because you could show that video of Getty's son Julian, on the rocket ship in the sandbox and all that. So we would alternate between Distant Early Warning and Kid Gloves, because who wouldn't want to see a kick butt Alex Lifeson guitar solo just to open up the second act of the show? Am I right? I know that. And we'll go right into subdivisions. I'm having fun with this, all right? We're going right into subdivisions. You can't have a Rush set list without subdivisions, because I personally think it defined a transition from, it started that, all synthesizer music, and it's very important to have because it shows a period of transition in time, and it's very good to be reminded of that. And then we'll go into our second song off of the Signals album. We got, Countdown, which was another suggestion of my father, which I also think was very good. And then you can have, all these, background films of, the space shuttles going up in the air. Maybe have Jeff Bezos, which we all saw. If that was relevant.
He can see the future, so okay.
Like that. If R40 was now, they definitely would have that. I'm telling you. And then it would be an alternate between Countdown and Losing It, because my dad and I couldn't see eye to eye. I'm like, no, they got to play Losing It. And he's like, no, I want them to play Countdown. I'm like, fine, we'll do both. So we'll have that as an alternate. So whatever mood they're in, or if they can't get the Dinklage or Ben Mink to come to the show, then they'll play Countdown. It all depends on the availability. All right, then we'll go right into Tom Sawyer. Got to have the South Park intro because it is important. Or you could actually have the Family Guy introduction, where they did a spoof of Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer, and then you have Chris go, Rush is in town. They're playing my song, and then they go right into Rush. Playing Tom Sawyer. And then we'll do YYZ because I love YYZ. I needed to put that in there. A little sad that they didn't play YYZ when I saw them at the Garden. All right. Then we'll get into Spirit of Radio, Roll the Lights, and, just beautiful, beautiful music. And then we'll get into Free Will, because that is also one of their most popular songs. And come on, if this is going to be your last tour, and it's your last tour, you got to play one of their most popular songs. That I know a lot of people could say it's overplayed, but come on, it's your last tour. You got to go out with what they know. So we definitely got to put Free Will in there. And then we'll go right into La Villa Strangiato. and it'll be an abbreviated version because we'll have Neil's drum solo in that. And I think that's a great place to put the drum solo. I'm debating, should Alex Lifeson have his usual rant? I'm like, nah, we'll save that for closer to the heart when I'll get to that. And then we'll do a Farewell to Kings because that song has been played in, couldn't even tell you how long, probably like the late 70s. So we'll definitely need a Farewell to Kings in there because I just think that is a very important song. I like that song personally, and I'm sure it'd be a great fan favorite. And then we'll go into Closer to the Heart. And then if you remember in the Counterparts tour where Alex Lifeson did all those goofy band introductions where he's like, oh, I'm Fabio, and over there is this celebrity that we don't know. So
Joan Rivers.
Yeah, Joan Rivers. So I think that'd be really cool, something different, I'm sure everyone would like that because who doesn't like to see Alex Lifeson goofing off on stage? I'm sure we all do. And then we'll go, another suggestion my father said, Something for Nothing. It was either that or a Passage to Bangkok. I think Something for Nothing's good because they have not played that couldn't even tell you that. I think that's very important now. Very good song. And then we'll go into 2112, how they played on the R40 tour, because this set list is already long enough. So I think the abbreviated version of 2112 is good. We'll go right into the encore. We'll do Bastille Day. I am not sure if anyone has Bastille Day on here. No, I don't think so.
I did. I had it kicking off my set too.
Oh, sorry. I got to read these things before I say them. So we got Bastille Day, and they actually haven't played Bastille Day since the R30 Overture. So I think it's really cool to bring that song back because, that is a really good song to, just to kick off the encore. And then we'll go right into, oh my goodness, I forgot a song from Fly By Night. I just realized that.
Was it Rivendell?
All right, we could, wow, I can't believe that. All right, we'll throw Anthem in there somewhere. We'll do we'll throw Anthem in there somewhere, all right? I got 26 songs now. I am sorry, I completely forgot that. Thank you, whoever's editing that. We'll throw Anthem in there after Bastille Day. And then after Anthem, we'll do Working Man. Which, I mean, come on, you got to play Working Man because that song literally put them on the map. And then I'm closing out with Finding My Way because finding your way back home, because after the show, they will be finding their way back home to wherever they may go. And I think that's a great way to end it. How you started, because Finding My Way was the first track on the first Rush album. So what better way to go out than the song you started with? And that is my set list.
That was very entertaining.
It was.
Mario, I wish I could have gone to a Rush show with you. It would have been a blast. It would have been a blast.
Maybe.
I will tell you, I am questioning your father's judgment of putting Kid Gloves as the opening track on the second set.
I said that. He wouldn't listen.
I mean, it's a great song. I'd love to see it live, but I'm questioning it as an opening.
I didn't want it to be the
Yeah.
opening. I prefer Distant Early Warning, but he would find out if I didn't put it or not. So let me just...
You would find out.
You'd find out.
Just religiously watch the roundtable just to see,
You don't know.
see if you listen to him or not.
And you'd be like, you should have listened to me. But come on, I'd like to hear Kid Gloves live, wouldn't you? It's a great
totally.
Yeah.
Totally. You'll have to have him leave a comment and defend his choice. All right. I'm gonna read mine. So, or any other comments on Mario's, or you're good. All right.
I love that you had Chain Lightning. Nice pick.
That's nice.
That's nice. It's a nice pick. All right. So mine is going to start off with Headlong Flight. I think that opening Getty bass line will really set the tone and really get people pumped for this set list. Jerry, you've said it plenty of times that you think this is like the ultimate Rush song. It's got everything in it, and I would agree. So I think it makes it a perfect opener. And I wish that I could live it all again. I think it's a perfect opener for that. So Now, the next song, so let me first explain here. So I have 6 different spots in my first set list where songs are rotating. And in each of those 6 spots, there are 6 songs that have never been played live. And the way I have it structured is, this is kind of hard to explain, but the way I have it structured is on show A, 3 of the 6 are songs never played live, and 3 of the 6 are songs that have been played live. They're rotating. So then on night B, or show B, or whatever you want to call it, it's the same thing. 3 songs that have been played live, and 3 songs that have been played live in the past, and 3 songs that have never been played live. So you kind of get the best of both worlds for whichever show you go to. So after Headlong Flight, we go into Good News First, which has never been played live, rotating with The Larger Bowl, 2 songs that I love, both of them. Kind of both cool down songs before we go into Far Cry, an In Your Face track, pyrotechnics, that sort of deal. The next track is How It Is, one of my favorite tracks in the entire catalog. Loved seeing this live on R40. Had to have it here in my hypothetical set. The next song is going to be an alternating spot here with Half the World, which was played live back in 96, 97, I believe, and a song that's never been played live, Totem, another song I absolutely love from Test for Echo. So I thought that'd be cool to have those rotating. Next is Animate, rotating with Cut to the Chase. So Animate sounded amazing on R40, as I think it was Mike that said that. But rotating with Cut to the Chase is one, fantastic banger of an Alex solo that I think people have been, begging for live for a while. So had to include that. Next track is Bravado. This is always for me, I always love seeing this song live. The next spot here, actually the next 3 are rotating. So we have Available Light rotating with The Pass. Available Light, of course, never been played live. The Pass is always another hit live. Next is Turn the Page, which hasn't been played live, I believe, since Hold Your Fire. Could be wrong. Show of hands. Rotating with never been played live, Open Secrets. I think that would be super cool live. Next is never been played live, Emotion Detector, rotating with Marathon. So as a few of you have said, Emotion Detector, the only song from Power Windows, my personal favorite album that's never been played live. I'd love to hear it. And rotating with Marathon. Marathon was phenomenal on Time Machine, so I had to include that and rotate with Emotion Detector. And closing out set 1 is Red Sector A, a historical Rush song, lots of pyro, shouting guards and smoking guns, fireworks. So, I mean, why not? Now, opening set 2 is Subdivisions, because Subdivisions, in my opinion, was a fantastic opener for Clockwork Angels. And I always felt that this was the split in their career. Signals was like, I always felt like the halfway point is Signals in their career. So I had to have the halfway point of the set start here at Signals. So Subdivisions opens set 2. Then I have Chemistry rotating with Digital Man, both songs that I very much enjoy. Had to have a little bit more Signals here. And then Losing It. This is not going to be alternated. This is all fantasy. So Ben Mink or Jonathan Dinklage will be traveling with them at all times. I'm sure they have to pay them a hefty price or whatever to bring them along. I don't know, maybe not, but they're going to be with them. Then we're going to go into Tom Sawyer. And I know a lot of people think Tom Sawyer is, they could go without Tom Sawyer. So we're going to change it up a little bit and include a drum solo with Tom Sawyer. We're going to really give Neil a workout here. Then we're going to go into, we're just going to play side 1 of Moving Pictures. Tom Sawyer, Red Barchetta, YYZ, and Limelight. Because as some of you have said, you got to play your hits here, so we're going to do that. And then we're going to throw in Vital Signs as I think what would be, I don't think any Rush song is easy to play, but kind of a cool down song, I guess, before they go into concert hit, The Spirit of Radio. And then we're going to have Natural Science rotating with Jacob's Ladder, which one of you had already said. And then we're going to close set 2 with La Villa Strangiato. Then we are going to open the encore with A Farewell to Kings. I think the acoustic part at the beginning of that would be really cool as an opener, and there's going to be a little Alex Lifeson guitar solo in acoustic guitar solo at the end of that for a little bit of a cool down before they go into Xanadu with the double necks. Then they're going to go into 2112 Overture, The Temples, and Grand Finale, which I believe is the 3 parts they played on Clockwork. I could be wrong, but close enough. And then my last song here is going to be, and this is my favorite part of the whole thing, because I'm going to have to explain this, but By Tor and the Snow Dog. And it's going to end, the whole set is going to end with the Endless Chimes. Does anyone know what the Endless Chimes is? Do you guys know what that means? Eric's shaking his head.
Chimes that never end.
Well, yeah.
Very
Good, Jerry.
Very astute, right?
No, so the Endless Chimes is on the Fly By Night vinyl. I think it was like the original pressing of the Fly By Night vinyl. By Tone the Snow Dog is the 4th song. So if you left it on and left it spinning, the chimes at the end of it would just endlessly spin. It would just go on and on and on and on and on. So that, seeing as only a few of you knew what that meant, I feel like that would be a nice little Easter egg to end the set as people are walking out. The chimes are just going and going and going as people are just
We won't
walking
leave though.
Well, that's fine.
They're
Ryan,
still
is that-
playing.
Was that by design or was just your record
I don't
messed up?
know. I don't know. No, it's not mine. I haven't tried it. I've read it. And I've seen it. You can YouTube it.
I was gonna say, you can probably find it on YouTube.
You can YouTube it, but it's pretty sweet. Yeah, I don't even know how it's done. But I just thought it was cool. I thought it'd be a cool way to end R40, and only very few probably fans would get it because, it's not something that's well known. So I thought it'd be a cool little Easter egg way to end the set. So
Ryan,
That wasn't done on the remaster, was it?
No.
what?
That wasn't done on the remastered
I don't
vinyl,
think
was it?
so. No, I don't
Because
think so.
I have it, and I don't ever remember hearing these chimes, but I might throw it on the player in the next few days just to see if
Yeah.
it is there.
I'll send you guys a link on YouTube.
I was gonna say that is one heck of an encore. That is like 50
Mhm.
minutes. I mean, Neil,
Yeah,
we should
right.
pick whose set list Neil would hate the most. Wow.
Hey, it's all fantasy, so I figured I'd throw it. I could have put Hemispheres on there too, went La Villa, and then started it, but
Yeah, like 4 songs. They're all 20 minutes long.
I didn't want to beat him to death. So
Only 4 songs left, but it's an hour and a half.
but, yeah, good luck.
Now for the drum solo you have in Tom Sawyer, is that coming, in the middle of Neil's drum fills there?
I didn't think of that.
Just one.
I didn't
know?
think that
That
through.
would,
Might
that would
be
be
something-
cool though.
Yeah.
I was
something
thinking,
for them to
like,
really.
You know how in Where's My Thing on Clockwork, didn't they break into a drum solo in the middle of the song like that?
Yeah.
I was thinking that type of deal. But
Yeah,
I
that'd be
just
cool.
I needed to throw it in there someplace, and I thought it would be kind of cool to tweak Tom Sawyer a little bit because I'm sure people are probably getting the hardcore fans probably get sick of hearing that at some point.
Yeah, throw it in there. Have something for him to, really wank out on, and then finish it up with the rest of Tom Sawyer. So
I never get tired of Tom Sawyer, though. I've said that before.
Well, you're up. So does
Oh,
Jerry's set list have Tom Sawyer in it? Let's see. We're about to find out.
Yeah. I'm also starting off with The Anarchist because of the drum parts. It's a great way to start a show. And then I go to Far Cry. And then my first A night, B night is One Little Victory and The Stars Look Down. And then we go into Driven, and then another A, B night switch for Animate and Between Sun and Moon, because I love Alex's solo in between Sun and Moon. And have they ever played that? Who wants to answer the question if they've ever played that live?
Yeah, they have.
They did?
Is that Rio?
Super Trails tour.
Between Sun and
Oh.
Moon, yeah.
See, there you go. I saw that
Why,
show like
why this song? Oh no, it's Why This Sun. Why the Sun, not Why This Song.
Why this? Yeah, why this?
All right.
And then we're going into Dreamline and Scars,
Ooh.
because that's just would be a nice little pull from the catalog, I think. Force 10, Time Stands Still, and then the last song of the first set would be another A-B night switch of Territories and Marathon. And then set 2, just as Ryan, you were going through your list, you mentioned that Subdivisions would be a great way to open up set 2. And then I looked at my list and I had switched songs from Grace Under Pressure and Signals. So I had to edit that on the fly right here.
It's almost chronological reference.
It was almost chronological, right? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I tried to get a song from every album. Maybe you noticed that. I don't know. Then we're going to Subdivisions, then Losing It again. Just like you said, Ryan, every night you just have to get somebody to play that solo.
Yeah.
Pick up somebody somewhere. There's orchestras all over the country.
Yeah.
And then we go to Red Sector A, Tom Sawyer, Limelight, and then a switch. Who else had the switch? Oh, Eric. Jacob's Ladder and Natural Science. 2 long songs that you could switch back and forth between the A and B night. And you had it too?
Yeah, but flip-flop, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, that's why I got confused. And then Free Will and the drum solo, I thought it would be great if just as they're about to, go into that crazy 3-piece solo thing, if Neil just went off into a solo for a little bit and then they crashed back into that whole part and played the rest of the song, I think everyone would go insane. And then we just barrel through the trees, Xanadu, 21 Till Overture and Temples, and then end with Bastille Day, because I think the end of Bastille Day has that majestic kind of ending to it. I think would be just a great way to end the concert. And then for an encore, you start off with Lakeside Park, and then another A-B switch of Anthem and Beneath, Between, and Behind, and then end with Working Man. Comments? Corrections?
I love that you deviated from the norm and put Signals and then Grace Under Pressure and then back to Moving Pictures. It sounds like that switch was made on the fly.
I know. I totally made it on the fly and screwed it up again. I'm so sorry.
The switch is actually fitting, Jay, because I believe on the podcast you had said that you felt like Grace Under Pressure fit more with Moving Pictures.
That's right.
And Signals with Power Windows. So that's what you were going for.
I was thinking the same thing.
I totally screwed up, but then I screwed up the Tom Sawyer line. Just noticed, as you said that. I'm the worst. Just imagine in your head if it was. Yeah.
Jerry, Patrick is your listener from Russia.
Yes.
He is.
That's why he's got the background.
Yeah. I am listening from Russia. I love the music.
I kind of thought you did that on purpose, Jerry, because of that.
No.
I was thinking the same thing, and
I'm just dumb.
I agree with your statement of you're just all right. Well, then we'll leave it at that.
It was subconsciously.
He's losing it.
Patrick, what? Yeah,
I am.
There we go. Patrick, go ahead.
All right. I'm going to start off with, I guess first I should say, I love the going back in time premise from R40, so I definitely wanted to maintain that. My only bummer with that was that they didn't play a song from every album. That to me was a missed opportunity. So it was important to me to have every album represented. Even for the jean jacket fly by night guy who hates the synth era, you know what? He can go grab a beer. All right, so I'm going to start off with Caravan and Headlong Flight. I couldn't pick between these 2 songs. They're so great. So I figured make it an A and a B situation. Same with Far Cry and Armor and Sword. Just, I couldn't choose, so I'm going to try and have it both ways. One Little Victory, again, felt like a must. I can't remember who mentioned it earlier, but that song is just so important in the Rush history that it was just a must. Was it you, Mauro? Awesome. And then I threw in a deep cut. Out of the Cradle. Love this song. Super underrated. And I thought it could work well with if you do like a little band skit video at the beginning of it that could maybe poke some fun at their ages, because it ends with the endlessly rocking at the end. So maybe you could work in something there. You know, someone who's paid to do creative stuff, not me. Then Driven, because I got to give Geddy a chance to show off with the bass solo. And then got to have Animate in there. That's one of my all-time favorite Rush songs, so it's a must. But got a soft spot for Between Sun and Moon, so I want to sneak that in on some alternate set lists. I love, that's got kind of like a Rolling Stones kind of garagey feel to it at times. So I really like that one. And then Roll the Bones. It's just so fun live. The celebrity guest route is fun. It's just super fun. You gotta have that in there. And then The Pass, you know, that's a big one. That's a classic. And then I never disliked the song Presto, but man, the version they did on the Time Machine tour was just spectacular. And I've just been obsessed with that song ever since. So make that another alternate. And then Time Stands Still, gotta have that in there some nights just because it's R40. It's the last tour. That's a song that'll make you feel sad and think about your mortality. So that's cool. And then Prime Mover, you got to work that. I love Prime Mover. The riff is just so good and so huge on that song. So I felt like that was a good one to work in on a few alternate nights. And then another alternate. You see I have a lot of alternates because it was hard to pick. Marathon and Middletown Dreams, just really upbeat songs. I've got some great sing-along parts. And I just felt like there's a really strong way to kind of close out set one. So there you go. Go use the restroom, towel off, get a beer. Coming back for set two. Maybe just me. I sweat a lot. Distant Earlier Warning and Red Sector A alternating to start it off, both upbeat songs. You could do some good pyro for Red Sector A. I love the reasoning you guys had with Subdivision starting it off set two, but again, I was really strict on maintaining the order and the one song per album. So Signals coming in second here with Subdivisions alternating with The Analog Kid. Then Losing It, just such a beautiful song. So bummed I didn't get to see it on R40. They sound checked it at the Seattle show, but didn't play it. Jonathan Dinklage will be there every night, whether they play the song or not. In my set list, they're playing it. I know some of you didn't always have it, but Jonathan Dinklage, you're on retainer, you're traveling. Let's go. You're going to be out there playing it. No disrespect to Ben Mink, but I just love, I love Jonathan's interview actually on the Jerry's podcast. So I got to go with Jonathan on that. Tom Sawyer. I never get tired of hearing Tom Sawyer either. I love Tom Sawyer. I love the South Park intro. It's great. And then we get into the heavy hitters. I admit this part's pretty chalky, but I mean, these are some of the best songs for a reason. Red Barchetta, Limelight, Spirit of Radio, Free Will. I mean, you got to go out with a bang, and you know these are bangers, as the kids say. And next, another alternating one. Either do La Via Strangiato or Cygnus X1 as they did on R40. The nice medley of some of Book 1 and Book 2. Whether it's La Via or the Cygnus X1 medley, Neil drum solo somewhere there in the middle. Closer to the Heart with the extended outro jam, like from the Different Stages album. I don't know which tour that version is pulled from off the top of my head, but I love the extended outro jam. It's so fun. It's so rocking. It's great. I've honestly listened to it more than the studio version lately. And then Xanadu. Xanadu, it's so epic. The smoke, the double guitars, the long intro. I mean, God bless them for pulling out the double necks again. It was probably killing their backs, but I appreciated them doing that. That was epic. And then 2112 in full, because I don't give a damn about the length of the show. And they're going to put on white robes like the album cover and have a little fun with it.
I have a question.
Yes, fire away.
Does that include camel toes?
I was going to ask.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Alex is gonna have some fun with it. He's gonna they're gonna spotlight him. He's gonna they're gonna lean into it.
And the
For
camel
sure.
toe shall inherit the earth.
Oh, and then that's the
The
end of
one
the
person
show.
who's made it to the end, to this far in the roundtable, probably laughed at that joke. So
It was worth it.
It was. And then I love Lakeside Park. It's just such a beautiful, nostalgic song. Hits me in the feels. And as someone else mentioned earlier, after Xanadu and 2112 and the encore, Neil still needs a little break. God bless him. So we're gonna go Lakeside Park, something a little easier for him. And then another alternating one, Anthem and Beneath, Between and Behind. Love just how rocking and up tempo those songs are. And then I know it's kind of cliche, but Working Man is the song that broke them. I'm not crazy about the song myself, but it's the song that broke them, so I feel like you got to put it in. And I love the Garden Road riff in the outro. I think that's a nice, cute touch, kind of a nod to the Rush history. So there you go. That is my show. You're welcome.
So you chose not to decide on a handful of these songs in terms of this one or this one.
Yeah, Neil may not like this one either.
You would probably hate my show.
He's like, I gotta
Hate
learn
it.
15 extra songs.
Yeah, well, Ryan,
We
you
love
opened
it.
the door to that. Once you said that you were doing some alts, I was like, oh, well done.
Yeah.
Time to
I
go make a
couldn't-
few adjustments.
I couldn't decide on half of them too, but I do want to do something really quick before we wrap. And go around the round table, one song per person. If there was one song that you could have, that you wish their band would have broke out for R40 that they did not, what would it have been? Does the question make sense before we? Any song that they didn't play on R40 that you wish they did, anything from the whole catalog. We'll go around the round table. We'll start with Eric. And if you want to pass and think, you can pass and think. Quickly though,
I'm gonna go with The Garden. I think just a song, very important, very powerful. Would have been a great way to wrap that last tour.
Michael.
Not Tyshawn. I figured I had to first and foremost because I was really worried that someone's gonna throw that on their set list tonight, but they didn't. I was very thankful.
Just despite me, they might.
I thought about it.
Me too.
If I was gonna have them throw a song on there that they didn't do on the R40 tour, I'm just looking at a quick R40 set list. Honestly, I know they did a ton of synth on Clockwork Angels, but I probably would have liked, I don't know, Big Money or, Grand Designs or something like that, something really heavily synthed.
They skipped all power windows too.
Yeah, probably Grand Designs would probably be the one off Power Windows.
Cool. Jared.
It's Everyday Glory.
Mario.
Motion detector.
All right, that's what I was gonna say, but I'll pick a different one. For me, it would be Available Light. Jerry.
I'm gonna go with Bastille Day.
Cool. Pat.
I think I would go with Available Light or Everyday Glory, as I already mentioned. Just two phenomenal songs that just stuns me that were never played live. They're just so good.
Lots of good choices. All right. Thank you all for doing this. This was a lot of fun. A lot of really creative set lists here. Those watching, of course, subscribe to our channel if you would, and leave a comment on this video. Take the time, do the exercise, put together your dream R40 set list. I think it would be really cool to read some of our subscribers' ideas with this. And with that, we will wrap, and we'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.